Welcome to Streams of Income, hosted by best-selling author and entrepreneur Dr. David Powers, where we discuss streams of income, passive income, residual income, and even why there are dinosaurs and zombies in this intro. Fasten your seatbelts and get ready to dive in.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Streams of Income podcast, and we are here again with Omar, one of our wonderful returning guests, because we don't get many returning guests because it's kind of one-off, but man, you had so much stuff last time that there was no way we could hit it all in one podcast, and so I wanted to get you back, and thanks for being back.
President, thank you. You're welcome.
Yeah, and I tell you what, and just for a quick intro, because I want to say to everyone, if you want a bigger intro, go back and listen to the first podcast, for sure. And then, but I met Omar through doing some videos for him on Fiverr for Boots and Ladders. It's a contractor, or not just contractor, service-based lead generation service. And Omar, if you want to say a little bit about that, and what are we digging into today, though? Was it scaling your business, or?
Well, I spent most of my life in the service industry. Although I'm jack of all trades, I grew up fixing motorcycles and stuff. But to make a living, I had to start cleaning carpets when I was in my 20s. And throughout the years, I struggled having to learn the business and the service and grow my business. So I figured out after 27 years when I sold my business that I want to do a platform that helps people start their business and not have to figure out the business side of things. And on top of this, I wanted to get rid of the middleman that's been hoarding our job leads and turning around only to sell us our own job leads at a premium. Yeah. So that's what Boots and Ladders is about. If you don't know anything about business, just go look up some of the ideas there, list the service that you think you can do, whether replacing a garbage disposal or a ceiling fan or whatever you think you can do. And the platform will guide you through how to offer the service, how to price it, and you'll be in front of the customers, and everything that's on your profile will be searchable by the search engines or the AI or whatever might come, who knows. And it's all free for the service professionals. Now, when someone wants to book your service, I'm going to charge them $3.
You got to make money somewhere.
Right.
Yeah, so, but you're not, the great thing, growing up in a construction business, I've given a lot of money to Angie and Craft Jack and some of those places, and was never pleased. Like, I would try them out, never happy with it, and paid them a bunch of money and felt like there was no return on it.
It's very sad that they are taking advantage. All they want is to please their the quarter end reports, and if their revenues are not there, I have not verified yet that they are doing this, but they are going and sending leads that doesn't have any foundation, and they're just charging it to the credit cards. That has to end. That has to stop. I think every service professional does not need an MBA to start a service business. I think that's really just a platform that does all that stuff for them in the background. And in my 2006, I had a website that has all my offers in it, and people were booking. I was getting free traffic from online, and people were booking on the website and scheduling and paying me. So all I was focusing on is going out, getting the work done, and I was able to grow my business into 5 trucks, and that's how that was the beginning of me figuring things out, So, yeah. Very cool. Yeah. So what do you want to talk about today?
Man, you really piqued my interest with, I forget exactly how you put it, but it was about scaling, hitting that first 6 figures and then moving beyond that. And, man, I'm looking for a plan. That's what I think all my listeners were wanting too. So they can draw out a plan and then fill in the blanks for their particular business kind of thing. So, what do you have for us on that?
Yeah, the first thing is you have to have a reason why you want to do this. I mean, it's not just everything going to come fall in your lap and suddenly you're a millionaire. Most of the Deca millionaires that I know, they have a purpose. They have a very cause, and it could be, who knows? It could be a hardship that they had, or it could be some self-worth that they want to pursue. It's not always about the money and the ego and the show off and the cars. It's not. It's never been about that. And those who are making quick bucks and end up buying their Mercedes or whatever that goal they had, they end right there, and that stops, and it starts to decline after that. So it's very important that you need to identify, even if you don't know why or what your purpose is. Becoming a Deca millionaire or beyond, it always because you have a purpose. And take the billionaires, for example. They skip the Deca and the Cento millionaire status, and they go straight to the billionaire status because their purpose, these guys are, they want to solve a big problem. These guys are very frustrated. They want to solve a big problem, and they put all their effort into that one, like the Steve Jobs story or Jeff Bezos story. I mean, you can tell those guys are very upset. They're pissed off that why do we have to go through bookstores to buy this, or why we can't buy the book that we wanted, why it's not available, so they're very dedicated towards one thing that would fix everything, and I think that's how they get there, some universal law that will support these people. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I can definitely see what you're talking about. I mean, of course, Elon Musk is in the news all the time lately, and not always because people are happy with him, but look at the projects he's done. I mean, like Starlink, for instance, right. Making broadband internet available for anybody in the world. I mean, because I'm in a rural area right now. I've got the T-Mobile cell phone internet running through the house, and Starlink would be a little nicer, a little faster.
Yeah, oh, definitely. I mean, it's in Africa. I was talking to somebody who's setting up transformers in Africa, and then when the disaster happened in Western North Carolina, he was there on the ground, and he was the first guy that was really needed, and he was setting up those little satellites that work through Starlinks, but what they do, they distribute a bigger network, and anyone without any plan, they can just tap into Wi-Fi or Singular. And he had this, he was there at the right time, but he was preparing for that opportunity for a long, long time. And he was in Africa doing all this charity work, and suddenly this thing happened. And of course, and I think from what he was telling me, that the guy that he was talking to that was on the phone with Elon Musk talking about how we're going to do this. It's just crazy how if you're prepared for opportunities, the stars will line up at some point.
Yeah. Yep.
So basically, rule number one is you have to have a cause. You need to know why you're doing this. Even if you own rental properties, or if you own any sort of revenue or stream of revenue, you need to serve that property. You need to go check on it. You need to make sure you're not the landlord who goes and demand rent. You need to go. I mean, we pick up trash. We pick up plastic bottles from our properties. I picked up, crap in a bag. I can name tons of things that I pick up from, and we find $1 bills and $5 bills, and I mean we find money too. So it's rewarding at some point. But you're serving that property. You want to always go inspect, check, see if everything is okay. There's not a tree limb that's hitting somebody, or so you are a servant of those things. And so basically, you have to have there will have to be a reason why you become in that status,
Yeah.
And I think rule number two is, and I would not call it a rule. I just don't want whatever we say today become the standard. It's not the standards. You don't stop learning. You have to constantly learn, and you have to always gather dots so you can connect the dots whenever it's needed. So whatever Dave Ramsey is preaching about you getting out of debt, I mean, you probably want to do that first. Whatever Robert Kiyosaki talking about leveraging with assets, you also need to look into that. So those are great information. Read for Napoleon Hill. My favorite guy in the whole world that I listen to for fun is Jim Ron. And
Oh
sadly, Jim
yeah.
Ron does not have much published or does not have really an official uh, book, but there's a video go around on YouTube. It's a 4-hour video that's so entertaining. It's a comedy for me because I'm learning English from this guy. I mean, he is just put things in a way that's so funny, and it's very nice to hear. I don't know if you heard for Jim Ron.
Yeah.
He is such a wonderful guy. But I mean, there's tons of information out there that you have to gather. But let's go to the serious stuff, and that's the things that I find a lot of my decamillionaire friends are doing, and how they all have this things in common, and there are about 5 things. First, number one, they give a damn about compounding. You know, everybody's preaching, you need to buy assets, not liabilities. So basically, compounding is everything you buy need to start compounding in value, and now you have to keep a track of your financials. If your goal is to grow, you need to have a balance sheet, even if you don't have any money. Even if all you have is the contents in your bedroom. I'm talking to the 16-year-old kid now. If you only have a laptop and you have a couple of things in the cube and in your room, make a balance sheet. Just see what your net worth is. And every time you buy an item, will that increase your net worth or that's going to decrease your net worth? It's as simple as that. Having a balance sheet is a 3-column things. It's your assets, your liability, and it's the net worth. I mean, you don't have to go get a degree for this one. And before you buy anything, add it to that balance sheet and see if that's going to put you up or down, what that's going to do to you, and that should be, and the very, very good investors, they aim for 20% compounding a year. And if you do the math on 26%, now this is not going to happen for me. I mean, with all my investing, I barely make 11% a year, and that's perfect compared to the other guys who aim for 8%. But 26% is possible for those who are compounding with very high growth, who understand the industry really well, and they know how they do it. I find real estate is a very safe. I don't have to be very intelligent to invest in real estate. It's just you can't go wrong. If you make a mistake, it gets fixed in 5 years automatically. So if you buy high, it's okay because it will always work out.
Yeah, so sometimes you just got to think a little longer term. I mean, everybody's wanting to get rich quick.
Right, absolutely. And with real estate, just be careful. If you're doing something from the ground up, you have to do your due diligence on the land and the lot and the drainage and where the water goes and etc. But so the balance sheet and the compounding is one thing that they all have in common. They always look at how their decisions, whether if I buy this or if I buy that, which one is better? Do I buy this triple net lease building or do I buy this land and build on it? And they run the numbers and they see which one they want to do.
Yeah.
So that's one important thing. The other thing is they don't waste. They hate to waste. They got money, but they'll ask their vendors, just tell me why I should pay you that. They're willing to pay more, but give them a reason why they should pay more.
Yeah.
They just hate to waste money. They don't want to pay somebody more just because there's no line item for it. They would like to see the itemized line item, line by line. And if along the way they run into any surprises, they would like to address that change order clearly, but they don't want to waste any money in between.
Yeah.
So don't waste should be a bullet point that everybody need to pay attention to. And of course, with don't waste, automatically there are going to be some saving. So you'll have cash flow. If you're not saving money, if you're squeezing your toothpaste all the way till the end, I mean, that's my measure. If I start throwing it out before it's all the way to the end. I'm like, Omar, you're comfortable.
You've made it.
It's time to go camping for a week and come back.
It's time to get out on the motorcycle.
Right. So yeah, you have to squeeze things, within reasons, and then cash flow would happen. That's when you have extra cash, and that's when the cash start to compound. Hopefully, you're putting it in some kind of Vanguard that that pays you interest or dividends, and then that becomes $100,000 where you can take that as a down payment onto something worthy, maybe $500,000 building, or maybe So that's how the order of how things go. And I know friends who are billing $300,000 in rent every month, and they write checks to their property tax, their income tax, all that stuff, all their expenses, including their bank interest, and they are left with $200,000 cash. So they are writing $100,000 every month in bills, but they're keeping $200,000 cash flow. And every year that compounds to some $1 million that they end up buying more and more property, and that's how they're compounding.
Yeah.
So it gets to that level, and that's when you start to become into the cento status. You're not in the deca. Deca is from 10 million to 100 million, but then from 100 million on up, that's the cento millionaire, and those are the guys that's dealing with a lot more of paper stock than actual managing, and a lot of them still in real estate. And when you get to the billionaire status, those are all CEOs and startups, and people who are selling to the mass. They're charging $5 subscription to Netflix or something. Those are So that's
what's great about this though is, some of our listeners, some of them maybe still be paycheck to paycheck, others trying to still build an emergency fund. But the great thing about this is, you're talking deca millionaires, but if people will start acting like those folks do, like the balance sheet and things like that, start acting like a millionaire now, and it'll speed you up.
Yeah, you just have to adapt to those habits. I came to the USA in 1990 during the Gulf War with $600. And the first 4 years of my life, it was just mistake after mistake after mistake. I have to learn the USA, and the USA is a science of its own. They have the beside the tax, you have the law, you have to not pass a school bus. All that stuff can put you in trouble, and they can grab you, and suddenly you're in deportation. So you have to be very careful if you're an immigrant. You have to really learn USA before you get in deeper trouble. But it's possible for anyone. All you have to do is vision it, meditate it, manifest it. Manifestation is really important. David, where do you see yourself 10 years from now? Always ask that question. And I think manifestation somehow helps you make the choices, the daily choices. Do I make this choice or that choice? I meditate every day to God, show me right from wrong. That's the only prayer I do, actually. I thank him for everything that he gave me, but I ask him, God, show me right from wrong. That's and then and so basically it's possible for our listeners, but it's good to know the roadmaps, where things go, and we can go back down into how to make the first $1 million in another episode. But the first $1 million has to be the hard work. It has to be you finding your niche, be good at it, and be the best out there in your neighborhood or in your city doing it. And it could be replacing water heaters all day long, or this is what Boots and Ladders is about, by the way. You just have to be very good. You have to go learn how to fix air conditioners. You have to be. This is the stuff that Amazon is not going to compete with you.
Exactly. And AI can't take this stuff over.
Right. Yeah. So basically, start a bakery, and you'll be good. You can do now. If you start a restaurant, watch out. Keep your menu small. Don't go out spread. I mean, food truck probably is a better idea now.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
So there's plenty of opportunities, landscaping. I mean, there's a lot of stuff, but whatever you do, make sure you're doing it for a purpose and you are keeping money at the end of the month. And I looked at myself when I had my first child, and I'm like, I'm working and I'm busting my butt. And that was back in 1999. And I'm saying I'm working, I'm doing $5,000 a month in carpet cleaning, and I'm not getting ahead. I mean, all my money goes to bills. And the more I work, the more bills I had. So I decided one day to sit down and change my strategy. And I said, well, you know, what is $5,000 a month? And I added up, and it was, I don't know, $200-300 a day. And I said, Omar, what if you do this? What if you start aiming for $500 a day, you know, and just keep your spending habit the same. Don't go squeeze, you know, things here. Don't sell the car. Don't sell the minivan. You know, just keep that there, but focus on how much more you can do. And I'm like, how do you increase your sales? You know, that's the hard thing, you know. Then at that time, I learned that you have to actually reach out to customers.
Yeah.
You know, I reached out, I pulled up my records. Luckily, I have a record of my customers, and I called them. I said, hey, I'm planning on buying a house, and anything you order for me this couple of weeks is going to be half off. Oh my God. I mean, the voice machine, they have a voicemail machine at the time, it filled up with orders.
Yeah.
And I was out there cleaning, working, you know, busting. And I made $15,000 in sales that month. So I reached out, I made him an offer, and in return, my sales developed. Now, my expenses, although we went to restaurants and we had a new Carrabba's in town, and I mean, all that stuff didn't go up much. You know, but my revenue went up, and now I have extra cash flow. And within a month, we got hit by Floyd, the hurricane.
Oh yeah,
and so like, I have to change my and I was like, oh, I have to change my strategy again. You know, I have to think. My phone is ringing. Luckily, I had a big yellow page ad at the time, and my phone was ringing off the hook. And I'm like, I can't do all those jobs at the same time. Omar, do not turn anything down. Don't leave anything on the table. Grab every job you can. So I dedicated myself and my crew to go start those jobs and start the drying process. And I outsources all the renovation to companies, the large companies that came to town who wanted the jobs. And I did it 60-40. And I was able to make money. And they call that leverage. I was able to leverage. I was acting like I have a big team, you know. And I dedicated my team to start the jobs and to be the customer contact.
Yeah, I mean, that's what Robert Kiyosaki's always preached is, you know, build a business and then start handing out the jobs.
Well, true. There's a thin line between doing it right and wrong. I have people who doesn't see customers, who doesn't get feedback, who doesn't know whether they're doing good or bad. It's very important that if you were to outsource something with good results. I'm not going to recommend somebody that's going to go and gouge people, you know. So there's an art for that, and for you to do it right.
Yeah. I kind of see the downside of that with roofers. Like we all just had these storms last weekend, and the roofers descend, or the roofing sales descends on these areas, and you never know who they're hiring. They're just finding guys that want work.
Right. Very risky business. If those crews does not have insurance and someone fall off the roof, and they always do, then they go back to your liability insurance. Or if you don't have liability insurance, there's so many questions. So it's crazy how things, and everybody's trying to survive. And I think the roofers have grown so fast with the storms that we had, but the insurance company on the other side, they're tightening up and they're becoming very difficult to deal with.
Yeah.
So if you're a roofer, you need to always be open to pivot and make sense of, of what you do. Most of the roofs are brand new now. They're not like they were in 1990.
Yeah.
At least in my neighborhood.
We've had too many storms to have so many old roofs around.
Well, I have a 20-year-old roof, and the reason I haven't replaced it yet is I don't have insurance. So, yeah, and I don't have a reason to do it. They said I have 30-year warranty on it. I'm going to wait 30 years.
Yeah.
So very cool. All right. So compounding, do not waste. And these guys are always in the hunt. They're always in the discovery phase. So discovery to them is part of their life. They have alerts that being sent out to them for real estate auctions, or they have alerts set up for even Facebook Marketplace, or they have alerts set up from different Greg's List. You can set up an alert. I guess I used to do it for motorcycles,
Yeah.
but you have alert that comes in with opportunities, and it's like, well, I know this car is worth such and such in Mannheim or in the Bring a Trailer ward, and this guy only wants 5,000. He doesn't know the value of it, but I do, and you can So that's some of the habits they have. And in real estate, I was lucky. I was fortunate in 2013. I had one alert that came in with a property for sale that went on foreclosure. And 2013 was too early on to bid online, especially with big amounts. And the people that had the money, they're the generation that does not use online bidding. So I was the only kid in town ready bidding on something, that I understand really, really well.
Yeah.
I mean, it's in my market. I have tenants for it. It was half vacant. I already have people lined up to go rent. I have a good game plan. So I was taking a risk, but it was an intelligent risk. And I think that's the next thing we're going to talk about is when you get all those leads, you need to study and you have to do your due diligence in every one. But there's some of those that come so clear, no risk whatsoever, because you have more knowledge about it than someone else. I mean, I have a Port City Java that decided to leave their location, and I'm like, full upfit. They have the whole shebang. They have the machines, the whole thing, and they're just going to leave everything and go. And for me, I can just go turnkey, have a coffee shop. And I didn't even step a foot in the whole thing, and I sold it for $20,000. So it was a paper contract where you buy it, and hey, who wants this 20,000? Pay. So there is an opportunities like that. So basically, the next thing is you need to take risk, but you have to take an intelligent risk. So and with no risk, there's no reward. You can't just sit on the sideline thinking that you're compounding, and it's like, well, why am I not compounding? Because you didn't take any risk. Simply you haven't done anything. You gotta go and you gotta take, and the best risk is the one you know about, and that's where information comes in handy. You have all this information beside the books that you read. You have hands-on experiences. You worked on jobs. You built, you were there upfitting a Port City Java, and you know what it would take, or you worked in a Port City Java, and you know that,
Yeah.
So that's where information comes from. I mean, the best advice you can give to high school kids: go out to work at the car wash, work at the restaurant, work anywhere you can, and don't be there forever. Work for 6, 7 months, 1 year, 2 year max. Don't be there more than 2 years. Because
treat it like a paid internship.
Right. You need to collect as many experiences as you can, and then you take those experiences and the dots. Don't worry about remembering anything, because believe me, the dots will light up when opportunity comes, and you can connect those dots, and then you can take that risk that I would call like it's an intelligent risk. It wouldn't be, very scary then.
And it's still risk, but I mean, the more intelligent, the more researched. I mean, you've minimized so much of that, but increase your confidence in it as well.
Right. Yeah, you will be walking in. Everybody is afraid, but you're knowing what you're doing, and you know how. And like it is with the stock market, it's a lot more complicated. And people, they think they know, but turn out it's like, what if things doesn't go the way it did the past 10 years? So that's the, unless you know something for sure, and this company and what they're about and how they're going to power the all the data AI with their nuclear thing, and you know all the stuff, and then you can invest in that company.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I think the last piece of this is you need to have the skill to leverage. You know, um, so I mean, if you're like you said early, I don't know, before the show, that you are outsourcing stuff to VAs, and I mean, there's only one David. There's not seven Davids. But
Yeah.
if you have the skills to create seven Davids,
Yeah.
and you tell them exactly how you do things, and for them to do things the way you do it, that's how you get to leverage. And with leverage, it becomes stream of incomes, not just one source.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
And so that's why real estate is so easy to leverage, because you buy this, you set it up, you have a tenant, he's paying rent, you go to the next one, you set it up. That's why they're easy to leverage. And you can do the same thing in your business, whether you're a roofer or if you're cutting trees, or we have over 700 different offers on Boots and Ladders.
Yeah.
And everybody is offering a different thing. Some people, they just hang TVs, and currently that's a thing. Some people are movers, like me and my truck, for a whole day, $1,000.
Yeah.
So you need to figure out how you can leverage this. If you can buy other trucks, and you can offer two guys in a truck to go out and help some people move. So basically, you just have to figure out how to leverage, and it's different for everyone. Your situation is different than mine, than anyone else. We all have different DNA, and we all have different niches. Me and you could be replacing water heaters, but your niche is different than mine. And you could be targeting one contract, 240 apartments. I'll be looking after homeowners, 3 water heaters a day, and one strategy could be different than the other.
Oh, so, yeah. That goes a long way too towards everybody thinks that no matter, like, they get an idea, whatever, and they think, well, if people are already doing that, it's too crowded a market. But I could, with some skills and some smarts, I could jump into any market, and you could sometimes take over a market because the other people, they're not doing it good. Customer service is bad, whatever.
Right. I see that. I see that clearly. And I say no to a lot of opportunities just because I wanted to focus. And being focused is key. You don't want to be all over the place doing 3 different platforms. I'm solving one problem.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. I decided to make. That's my problem. That's the problem I want to solve. And for me right now, in this stage in life that I've secured my income, and this is how it went in my 20s. I was in discovery. I was lost. I don't know what I was doing. Towards the end of my 20s and 30s, I find the way that I can streamline. And then with the streamlining towards the end of it, I was leveraging, and I was having a very nice sized company with crews going out, bringing me. I had my saving going, and then at the end of that, I had enough money to invest in real estate. So the 40s was the investment stage, and that was my goal, is to have time, because 3 things doesn't come together, right? Time, health, and wealth. Those are the 3 things that, like, instead of wealth, I would say income. So the income and the health and time doesn't come together. Yeah. And in my 20s, everything was dedicated to the income, and in my 30s, I was leveraging the income, so I'll have time. And then towards my 30s, I had time. In my 40s, that I have time now, I can go and take risks because I have the income and the time. And luckily, I have the health, thank God. And then I want to set myself up for the 60s and the 70s, where the health start to degrade, and the income usually degrade too during that time, unless you set up some residual income. Yeah. And I love the word residual income. I've heard it the first time early 1990 from a guy that was pitching me Amway. and it was total, but
bad anyway. Source, but a good idea.
I know. That's it. That's exactly right. So in the 50s now that I have all this thing, I wanted to reposition myself for a new purpose. And the new purpose is to build Boots and Ladders platform and get more people into the service industry and give them the power that any large company have. And they don't have to have the capital to compete with large plumbing companies or large roofing companies.
Yeah.
I want them to have the same exposure from nearby customers and serious customers, enough for the telemarketers. We're done with that. We want the customer to verify themselves first before they can reach you. Tell me that you're a real person. I'm going to verify you through your phone number, and then you can reach this guy. So that's how we got it set up right now.
Now, Fiverr in the past has celebrated some like Fiverr millionaires, people that made that much. Boots and Ladders, are we there yet? Do you have any?
No. We're early stage. I'm charging investors money down because once you start working for the investors, all they want is the bottom line. Oh yeah. And I'm not rushing to revenue or anything like this. We're a 3-team member. My daughter did the UX design. I'm doing the management. I have been in Serbia doing the coding, and now I have potential for growth. Interesting people that showed up that wanted to take it to a higher level. Yeah. And we still have a lot of work to do in the platform itself. It's such a huge platform that I want to make it simple. I don't want it to get out of hand. Where in Fiverr, like you've seen, it's like so many, the chat and the messaging and the orders. Like why we have
so much noise.
Things. So much noise. I just want to simplify it into one chat, and that chat is the work order. Yeah. Okay. So
won't it be awesome though when you've got your first service providers that have made big money just from leads off of Boots and Ladders? That's going to be cool.
Yeah. I'm hoping for it. As soon as one of the very first few launched, landed a $10,000 job the following day.
Wow.
Lee Mark, he offered the site clearing and prepping and stuff like this, and I helped him set up his profile on Boots and Ladders, and he landed a $10,000 the following day. Because at the time, anybody that published on Boots and Ladders, I used to go to LinkedIn and I used to go to Facebook and I used to tell everybody, this guy's on Boots and Ladders, come over. So, but I'm hoping those features will be automatic, as soon as we get those done. If somebody lists on Boots and Ladders, his listing goes out to all the social media, so they don't have to do any marketing. The Boots and Ladders is doing it for them. That's all possible. So it's such it's been a wonderful journey for me. I mean, the biggest breakthrough that I had in my life is coming to America. That's being fortunate that I'm in a first world country that has the infrastructure already built. They had the law in order. They have the streets. They have the plumbing. They have everything is lined up for growth, ready for me to just turn a switch and adopt that system. And the greatest system that most people complain about is the banking system. I don't mind paying interest rate to a bank rather than to have a partner. Yeah. So my partner is usually the bank. And banks, the SBA loans now is such been more available than ever. If you own a small business and if you have a way to leverage it, instead of getting a partner, just get an SBA loan. And that's
I'm not big on partners. Just from experience with my dad in the early days.
Yeah, I mean that's the only ship that doesn't sail is the partnership.
I mean, him and his partner would come to blows almost, arguing over bills and stuff.
Right. Yeah. And again, everybody's intention could be different. If my partner wants to spend his money on, cocaine and hookers, and I'm spending my money on family and stuff, I don't want to, our destiny is different. He's going to get what he's after. I'm going to get what I'm after. It's going to be two different paths.
Oh man, your example is almost spot on because my dad's partner he'd spend his money on alcohol and a Mercedes. And then when my dad saved money and bought a house, we moved out of a trailer and into a nice house. His partner accused him of stealing money.
See, exactly. Yeah, that's that. Well, wake up, and so it's very complicated. partnership is very complicated. I have not
Yeah.
been able to partner, even though there's a lot of guys I would love to do business with. The guy that bought my business, he's such a great guy. He's very good, has very good business, and I would love to partner with somebody like him. But again, I go back and say we both have different destinies, and I don't want to tie myself up with anybody. Now, there is a stage where my business can be a corporation and it can take investor money and stuff like this, but I don't foresee myself doing it. Probably the future next people can take it into that. And I don't want it to ever be evil, because that can be easily, boots and ladder can be easily turned into switch and bait, just like what Sarah's Magic did with Home Advisor, and Home Advisor did with Angie's List, because Home Advisor bought almost everybody and turned their revenue model into selling leads. And I don't know if you know how that works. They just go, if you call them, you want a plumbing job, they take your information, they sell it to 5 guys, and whoever gets the job gets it, whoever doesn't, so it's very...
It leaves a bad taste in your mouth as a service provider.
True, absolutely.
Well, Omar, thanks for coming on with us again, man, and wish you all the success with Boots and Ladders. And
anytime.
If we get any folks that have used your advice here and moved into that DECA range, I'll be sure to let you know, because they'll owe us a dinner for listening, for us talking to them.
You can reach me, Omar at bootsandladders.com, with any questions. I'll like to help, and I'll give my opinion. It's an opinion. It's like, or how I did it, if I have to make that decision. I would love to share my information and whatever I learned.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Thanks for coming on.
Right. Thank you, David.
Hey, everybody, I just wanted to mention one last time before you go, if you ever want to do any brainstorming, let's say you listen to one of these podcasts and you thought to yourself, Dave, that was an amazing guest. And your interview questions were so thoughtful and introspective and inspiring. It made me think about something new, but I don't have anybody to talk to about this. Well, that's what I'm here for. If you ever want to do a brainstorming session, I don't charge the same price for those that I do my regular coaching sessions, because the coaching sessions are, that's like a long-term thing. I work with people and hold their hand and tons of homework, stuff like that. But if you ever want to just get on a call and do some brainstorming, I love doing those. I love meeting new people in different occupations, things that I don't know anything about, and have them tell me all their secrets, all their goals, all their dreams, and we brainstorm new income ideas. And you know what I really like? Let me tell you a secret. One of the things I really like doing is helping people see how they can make additional income or create new income streams based off of things they're already doing. In other words, don't add another job. Don't take on another part-time job. Don't add 15 side hustles to your existing income streams, or stream, if you're possibly in a full-time W-2 job. What I like doing is brainstorming with folks. It's like my specialty, and helping them figure out how to make money, more money, new money, sometimes passive money, with things they're already doing. And so if you want to do a brainstorming session on something like that or anything else, I don't mind talking about anything. Getting your kids into entrepreneurial stuff, trying to work with your spouse because they hate entrepreneurial stuff, whatever you want to talk about, click the link below. It should be in the show notes. I say below. I'm not sure how you're watching this, but it is in the show notes, whether those are on the side, below, or somewhere else. But check the show notes. There's a link in there for the $99 brainstorming sessions. And, if you want to, feel free to email me. Ask me if it's the right fit for you before you book, whatever you want to do. But just be sure to get the help you need to make sure that you're able to take those next steps toward your income streams.